Today, we're going to talk about something pretty wild. We're looking at what happens when you take a regular, everyday family SUV, the Chevy Tahoe, and you just crank the dial all the way to 11. This right here is the 2026 Hennessey Tahoe, and it makes a pretty bold claim that it's the ultimate full-size SUV. So what exactly does it take to earn a title like that? Let's find out.
I mean, think about it. Is it just about having the most power? Is it about being super luxurious? Or is it maybe the ability to do literally everything you could ever ask of it without even flinching? That's really the big question here. So let's see why this particular Tahoe thinks it has the answer.
So, first things first, what does Hennessey even mean? To really get what this SUV is all about, you have to understand the company that put its name on it.
Okay, so Hennessey isn't part of Chevrolet. They're a totally separate, world-famous tuning company. And what they do is they take cars and trucks that are already pretty potent and they turn them into absolute monsters. You can think of them as the mad scientist of the car world, and this Tahoe is one of their craziest experiments yet.
So how would you even spot one of these beasts in the wild? Well, it all starts with the way it looks. It has this presence that just screams performance, way more aggressive than a stock Tahoe you'd see at the grocery store.
It's really all these little details that add up. You can see it's been lowered 2.5 inches, which gives it this really mean stance. And it's sitting on these huge 24-inch gloss black wheels. If you look right through them, you can see those bright red 6-piston performance brakes. Then you go around back and you've got this quad-tip exhaust that definitely makes a statement. And of course, it's all finished off with the Hennessey and supercharged badges, which pretty much tells everyone, hey, this is not your average school bus.
But listen, the real story here, the heart of this thing, it's not what you can see, it's what you can feel. So let's get into the numbers, because this is where it gets crazy.
And there it is, 625 horsepower. Now just to put that into perspective for you, that is more power than a lot of high-end sports cars. We're talking about a level of performance you don't expect to find in a vehicle that's this big.
And backing that up is an equally insane number, 633 pound-feet of torque. Now this is the real muscle, you know? It's that raw, twisting force that gets this giant machine moving with, well, a shocking amount of urgency.
So what happens when you combine all that horsepower and all that torque? You get this, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds flat. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. This is a 3-row family SUV that can hang with performance sedans off the line. It's unbelievably quick.
And this table really lays it all out. Look, the standard 6.2-liter V8 from Chevy is already a strong engine, right? 420 horsepower is nothing to sneeze at. But then Hennessey comes in and just injects over 200 more horsepower and almost 175 extra pound-feet of torque. That's not just a little tune-up. That is a complete personality transplant for this vehicle.
So, you're probably wondering, how in the world do they get that much more power out of it? Well, the secret weapon is a supercharger. If you've ever heard that high-pitched whine from a muscle car, that's what it is. The easiest way to think about it is like a giant air pump that's run by the engine's belt. It crams a massive amount of extra air into the engine, which means the engine can burn more fuel, which creates a much bigger bang, and well, you get a whole lot more power.
Okay. So we've established it's ridiculously fast. But is it still, a Tahoe? Did Hennessey have to rip out all the comfortable, practical stuff that makes people buy these things in the first place?
And the answer to that is a hard no. See, this whole build is based on the top-of-the-line Premier trim, so all the good stuff is still here. You've got the huge panoramic sunroof, the entertainment screens in the back for the kids, a great Bose sound system, GM's hands-free Super Cruise driving assist, and of course, heated and ventilated seats. The luxury side of the equation is 100% intact. And what about the utility? I mean the U in SUV. Well, that is completely untouched. With the back seats folded down, you're looking at a massive 122.7 cubic feet of cargo space. That's not just a number on a page. That's enough room for a whole weekend of camping gear, a trip to the furniture store, you name it. The practicality is absolutely still there. And let's just break that down for a sec. Even with all 3 rows of seats up, you've got over 25 cubic feet of space. That's a lot. Fold that 3rd row and it jumps to over 72. So yeah, at its core, this thing is still one of the most practical vehicles you can buy. The mind-bending performance is just it's a very, very big bonus. So you get supercar acceleration. You get all the space and comfort of a top-tier Tahoe. There's got to be a catch, right?
Well, as you can probably guess, this kind of performance, it doesn't exactly come cheap. The sticker price for this blend of power and practicality comes in at $97,250. And yeah, that is a serious amount of money for any family vehicle, no matter how fast it is.
This slide here really lays out the whole deal. It's a trade-off. On the one hand, you get that insane power. You get all the SUV practicality you could ever want, and let's be honest, you get the exclusivity of owning something this rare. But the cost isn't just that big price tag. You also have to feed this thing expensive 93-octane premium fuel, and you'll be lucky to get around 12 to 15 miles per gallon, and that's if you're being gentle with it.
And all of this kind of leaves us with one final thought. Vehicles like this Hennessey Tahoe, they're really starting to blur the lines between categories. They offer everything in one single package. And it makes you wonder, as the very definition of a family car keeps getting stretched, what are the performance cars of the future even gonna look like?